Hello, hello, my gods and goddesses, and welcome to Things That They Don't Teach You About Black History, Day 2. And today we're going to be talking about 16 queer black pioneers who have made history, from Marsha P. Johnson to Lori Lightfoot. We are honoring our black LGBTQ plus trailblazers of the past and present. So, not only that, guys, my black LGBTQ brothers and sisters deserve recognition alongside everybody else who have not only fought for black rights, but also have fought for LGBTQ rights as well in this country. And still to this day, LGBTQ, especially black LGBTQ people, are still discriminated against. Like last year, there were so many black transgender women that were killed, like the highest it's ever been. And so many people have not talked about this. I've seen some people talk about the black LGBTQ lives that were lost last year, especially the black trans women. And it's just like sick how people still to this day do not respect them, especially from our own people. And hopefully, like years down the line, we do better as a black community and just accept everyone, because at the end of the day, they're still black. It doesn't change the fact that they're gay, bi, pan, lesbian, etc. So guys, let's go to the black LGBTQ people that made history. Gladys Bentley was a gender-bending performer during the Harlem Renaissance. Donning a top hat and tuxedo, Bentley would sing the blues in Harlem establishments like the Clam House and the Ubunga Club. According to the Belated, published in 2019, the New York Times said Bentley, who died in 1960 at the age of 52, was Harlem's most famous lesbian. In the 1930s, and among the best-known black entertainers in the United States. Bayard Rustin. Rustin was an LGBTQ and civil rights activist, best known for being a key advisor to Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. He organized in the 1963 March on Washington and was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, in 2013 for his activism. In 2020, Gavin Newsom pardoned Rustin for his arrest in 1953. When he was arrested, he was found having sex with two men in a parked car. Rustin served 50 days in Los Angeles and had to register as a sex offender. In pardoning Rustin, Newsom noted how LGBTQ people were unjustly punished for their sexuality by the U.S. law enforcement at the time of his arrest. Stormy, a biracial butch lesbian, was born in New Orleans and was always a performer. As a teenager, she joined the Ringling Brothers Circus, where she rode horses from 1955 to 1969. She toured with the Black Theater Circus at the MC, the Only Drag King, and the Jewel Box Review. In New York in the 80s and 90s, she held a number of leadership positions in the Stonewall Veterans Association. She also volunteered as a street patrol worker and as a result was called the guardian of lesbians in the village. Beyond her LGBTQ activism, DeLavar also organized and performed fundraisers for women who suffer from domestic violence and their children. James Baldwin, a writer and social critic. Baldwin perhaps is best known for his 1955 collection of essays, Notes of a Native Son, which predicts themes of homosexuality and bisexuality. The novel stood out among literal critics because it featured all-white characters, unlike the civil rights activists who centered the experiences around black people. Baldwin actually spent the majority of his literacy and activism educating others about black and queer identity. Alvin Ailey was a choreographer who founded the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, one of the most prominent dance companies globally. In 1955, his signature work, Cry, Revelations, continue to be performed all over the world. And in 2014, Ali was awarded the President Medal of Freedom for his influential work in bringing dance to undeserving communities. Andrea, a black lesbian feminist, mother, poet, warrior, made lasting contributions in the fields of feminist theory, critical race studies, and queer theory throughout her writing. Among her most notable work, The Black Unicorn, The Cancer Journals, and Zami. She said, "I write for those women who do not speak, for those who do not have a voice because they were so terrified, because we were taught to respect fear more than ourselves. We've been taught that silence would save us, but it won't," Lord once said. Ernestine was a leader in the first lesbian civil and political rights organization in the United States, was called Daughters of Bitless. She attended the annual Reminder picket protest, was frequently one of the only women and the only black woman presented in the early LGBTQ rights protest. She was also an early activist in the black feminist movement in the 1970s and was involved in organization Black Women Organized for Action. According to historians, she viewed the fight for civil rights and LGBTQ rights as instrumentally linked. Barbara, a civil rights leader and attorney, became the first African American elected to Texas Senate in 1966, and the first woman and the first African American to Congress from Texas in 1972. She was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Bill Clinton in 1994 for her work as a political trailblazer. Jordan never acknowledged her sexuality in public. She was open about her partner, Nancy Earl, for nearly 30 years. Marsha P. Johnson, who clearly tell the people the P stood for Pay It No Mind, was an outspoken transgender rights activist and is reported to be one of the most central figures of historical Stonewall uprising in 1969. Along with fellow trans activist Sylvia Rivera, Johnson helped form Street Transgender Action Revolutionaries and provided homes for homeless queer youth and sex workers in Manhattan. She also performed with a drag performance troupe, Hot Peaches, from 1972 through the 90s, and was an ads activist. Miss Major is a black transgender woman and activist at the forefront of the fight for trans rights. She faced many hurdles during her life, including homelessness and incarceration, and these challenges fueled her activism more. In 2005, she joined San Francisco's Transgender and Intersex Justice Project as a staff organizer and later an executive director. Now, at the age of 79, Miss Major is known to many as Mama, resides in Little Rock, Arkansas, where she continues to be a vocal activist. Ron Odine was elected mayor of Palm Springs, California in 2003 and made history of becoming the first openly gay African American man elected mayor for the American city. And in December of 2017, it became America's first all-LGBTQ council 17 years ago. Phil Wilson was a prominent African American AIDS activist. He founded the Black AIDS Institution in 1999. In 2010, Wilson was appointed to President Obama's Advisory Council on HIV and AIDS. Wilson also served as the World AIDS advocated for control and prevention to provide additional funding to black groups so they would have the resource to educate and mobilize their community around HIV and AIDS. His work resulted in the Act Against AIDS campaign, known as the Let's Stop HIV Together campaign, which promotes HIV testing, prevention, and treatment. So guys, that is 16 of the black LGBTQ and civil rights activists who made history in this country. Not only they fought for gay rights, but they also fought for their own rights as black people. And without Marsha P. Thompson, the LGBTQ community would not exist without her, period. She was the first one that started the whole thing, and a lot of people need to put some respect on her name. So that is it, guys, for this video. I would like to thank you guys all for watching, and thank you for listening. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Did you know half these queer activists, and what did you think? And let me know in the comment section down below. We have an entire month. I have many more facts for you guys, so I will see you next time. Later, my gods and goddesses, and have a beautiful, wonderful day.